Cardistry is the artful manipulation of playing cards. It's also one of the best tricks ever. Even if you don't play cards or know anything about cards, you can still appreciate the ridiculous amount of skill and countless hours of practice it must take to do what these people do. Two of the guys who helped spark the movement are Dan and Dave Buck, who I went to go visit in San Diego.
Yeah, there are no secrets in cardistry, and it's very community-based. Everything is open. Everyone is super friendly and willing to share almost.
Is it because it's something that's so skill-based as opposed to magic?
It's so skill-based. Like, you have to have the skill in order to be good.
Yep.
Like, if you're a magician, you can be the worst performer and the worst magician with no creativity, but if you can afford $1 million trick, you know, you're gonna get an audience. I think it's why the community of magic advances so slowly, because it's built on secrets. There's no mentality of, hey, let's share, let's advance this art together. And with cardistry, there's none of that. Everything is like, you know, if you can practice something and you can do it, then you're good. You know, when we first got started, we only knew a few flourishes from the books on these shelves, and there's only a handful of them. The foundational flourishes we learned was Chris Kenner's Sybil, and we loved it and took it and started adding packets.
Chris Kenner is one of the greatest minds in magic, and also the guy Dan and Dave were just talking about.
I published a move, a flourish, that I kind of came up with out of a necessity for a joke. I was doing a joke that I needed a punchline for.
Okay.
I wanted to do a fancy cut with a display. I wanted to be able to go, and the gag was, I would use the politician at the time, who was the most famous politician at the time. You display it, and then you go the Donald Trump cut. Looks busy, doesn't do a damn thing.
Sure.
So not funny, but I did it for my own amusement because I wanted to be able to do this. I get a call from R. Paul Wilson.
Sure.
R. Paul Wilson, and he says, hey, we're shooting this video, and there are these two young kids. They're twins, and they've taken Sybil, and they've gone crazy. It's insane. So I said, oh, cool, I'd love to see it. I saw him 10 seconds, and I'm like, okay, this is different. It was really the first time that I truly saw cardistry, like they call it now.
We're sharing stuff we've been working on for decades. And, you know, the newcomers are learning that and sharing with us something that they just created.
Lucas and Ash, my buddies from Australia, are 14 years old and part of the next generation of cardistry.
The first flourish that I saw was Sybil by Kenner. And that really got me started. I learnt it, tried all the variations and different tricks and stuff you could do with it, and then started branching off into new moves that people have been creating and sort of branching off Sybil.
It's kind of an open share.
Yep.
Apple is now kind of slowly open sourcing themselves. Yeah. It's like that.
It is.
You know, David Copperfield, when he sees him, he's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, he calls him, he goes, you know, he gives it instant respect.